Hi, I here. This is a reading for the sign of Virgo. We're going to do a Celtic cross spread with the Thoth deck, and then we're going to pull 3 cards from the Shadow deck to see if there's any confirmations or background energies or emotions or anything else we need to be aware of that doesn't come through in the main reading. So let's just see what happens. All right. So we are going to channel the energy of Virgo today. So if that's your sun, your moon, your rising, wherever that placement is for you, you can let that be a way of interpreting how this message should come through for you. And as always, if there's anything that comes through in this, that you see in this spread that I don't mention, always use your intuition and your own personal judgment to see how this should best fit for you. Don't try to force anything, of course, but if you disagree with some of the interpretations I give or something more comes through than what I speak on directly, again, let that guide you and let this message mean for you whatever it needs to mean, okay? All right, so let us just go through and see what messages we have today for Virgos. So I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're watching this in the morning, I hope the rest of your day goes well. If you're watching this in the evening, I hope you've had a great day so far. And I hope the rest of your day goes well still, of course, as always. So, all right. So Virgo, what do we need to know today about Virgo? What messages can our Virgos get from this reading? So let's see what we get. Let's do one more shuffle. Okay. All right, so let's see what we get. Let's see what messages come through. Getting a little crazy with this shuffle here today. All right. Feels pretty good. Let us see what we get. All right, so we get the Knight of Swords. Nice strong start. All right, we got some air energy coming through, ready to come in and just, clear through the fog of the mind and just say, hey, this is what needs to be seen. This is what you need to know. And that's where you're currently at in the present. So let's see what else we get. So it's crossing the Tower. All right, maybe the Knight of Swords is coming in through to cut through and say, hey, pay attention because it's going to come whether you like it or not. And more air energy there. We got the Ace of Swords. We got the Queen of Discs. The Devil. Uh-oh. We have the Ace of Wands. 2 aces already. The Princess of Discs. The Prince of Wands. The Lovers. And the Lust card. All right. So this is kind of an interesting little mix here. So let's see what we got. We're going to see what's on the other side of this deck at the end to see what we don't see coming. But let's see what we got out here in the rest of the spread first. So some interesting cards. I think this is going to be a nice read. So let's get a sense of what we got. Let's take stock of what types of cards we have. Decent bit of major arcana here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana with the Tower, the Devil, the Lovers, and the Lust card. So that's an interesting little mix. As far as court cards go, it looks like we've got the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Discs, the Princess of Discs, and the Prince of Wands. So that's a pretty solid collection of sort of personalities or influences that are happening here. In terms of our 4 elements, let's see what kind of displacement we've got here. So we've got a 1. Let's see, for swords energy, we just have the one sword, the Ace of Swords, well, the Knight of Swords, excuse me. So we have two air energy cards. In terms of fire, we have the Ace of Wands, the Prince of Wands, and I guess you could argue the Lust cards. It's got some fire energy going on there. And as far as earth goes, we've got the Queen of Discs, the Princess of Discs, so we've got 2 of those, and no water energy, no cups. Okay, so a little light on the cups, probably a little on the heavier side with the air and fire, and well, no, the earth. All the other elements are kind of nicely balanced out here. So we're just missing cup energy here. So we're a little light on the emotional side of things. So it looks, what's standing out to me is we definitely have a lot of passion and energy and sort of creative spark happening here. A lot of movement. There's some earth energy. Those things are kind of grounded. Having a lot of earth and fire together is not so bad. And it's sort of cut through here with a little bit of air energy. So let's just see what we got. So we start off here, as I said, with the Knight of Swords, right? This is quick-witted, sharp thinking, very precise, knows exactly what is happening, very clear perception of what's going on, and not really, not one to mince words. What is happening, what is logical, what is clear, they are going to cut right through it. I mean, you see him coming down like a storm from the sky, just like here is an idea that you cannot get away from, and it is going to come into your life, and that is doubly made clear here by it being crossed by the Tower. All right, so the Tower is you holding on to some kind of beliefs or structure or something that you do not want to let go of, but is inevitably going to come down anyways. So I think the Knight of Swords is coming in here to make some idea clear that maybe you don't want to necessarily acknowledge, but you're going to have to acknowledge it anyways. And it looks like here in the past with the Ace of Swords, this clarity has already been presented to you. So some new idea has been brought into your mind, some kind of new revelation, and the Knight of Swords is here to really say, hey, you have got to acknowledge this, and being crossed by the Tower means if you're not going to acknowledge it, it is going to happen anyways. This is some insight, some kind of new revelation that is unavoidable and is being made crystal clear to you. So whatever that means for you, let that resonate for you as it needs to, but it is clear here that these three cards to me are saying some kind of insight is coming into play and you have to deal with it. In the future, so this is the past, this is the present, and in the future we have the Queen of Discs. So this is someone who knows the comforts of life. They're very practical, very grounded, feminine force. You can see she's looking back at the things that she has done in her past and is sort of reflecting upon them. So I think maybe what's happening here is you've got some kind of new idea that's being brought in that has to be acknowledged and dealt with. And maybe in the future, after you finally come to terms with the aftermath of what is happening with this revelation, you're going to be able to look back on it and realize that, even though this may be a painful realization that you don't really necessarily want to accept, you're going to be able to look back on it in a very practical way later, and it's going to be something that's going to be very constructive, this insight or the fallout from whatever this idea is. It's something that's going to definitely be a positive force in the future that's going to help you grow and mature. So this initial sort of insight will grow. It's going to change in some way your thought process or your life or your outlook on things. And I think it's going to be a positive thing going forward when you actually accept and acknowledge this. Now, down here with the Devil, this is in your unconscious energy. So the Devil here is someone who is trying to trap you. This is someone who is trying to help or incentivize you to sort of build your own prison. I mean, there's different ways of looking at what the Devil could represent, but in this context, I think this is the voice that's telling you to hold on to this tower. Whatever this idea is, whatever this thing is that you need to acknowledge or let go of, this is the voice in your head that's saying, don't worry, the tower will stand. Everything's going to be fine. But the Knight of Swords is the other side of your thoughts saying, no, that's not logical. Something needs to be acknowledged and addressed here, and it's going to happen whether you like it or not. But again, I think this Queen of Discs is to me saying that there is a sort of positive future ahead once you acknowledge and deal with whatever this is. So don't let this Devil down here be the voice that says you can't change the way you're thinking about this, you need to hold on to where you've been. No, be open to this new idea, whatever this idea is for you. Okay? And you see what's crowning all of this at the top, the conscious energy, the thing you're sort of looking forward to, that sort of the motivation maybe for all of this, is the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Swords is a clarity of thought, it's a new idea, it's the precise realization of something that kind of comes to a head that can just cut through all the nonsense and help you understand what it is you need to do or see. The Ace of Wands is that force of power. I mean, it's like a magic wand that you can hold up in your hand and use it to, put your creative energy out into the world and to create something empowering and some new inspiration that's going to allow you to have some sort of power. So the Devil is down here trying to sort of hold you back and say, don't let this new idea affect you. Stay where you are. But the Knight of Swords is trying to say, hey, no, don't listen to that. Cut through all of that nonsense and let whatever this new idea is inspire you and push you forward into something better. And I think, again, this is why in the near future, the Queen of Discs is here saying this will get better. This will be better. It may be destructive and rough now, but you'll be able to look back positively on this once all is said and done and feel much better about coming to terms whatever this ideal realization is. Okay, so that's what I see happening over here on this side of the spread. Now, let's see what we have over here. This is your general current energy. This is the Princess of Discs. So I see this as sort of being reflective of, since we have the Queen of Discs in the future, I think you are currently in the Princess of Discs mode, where you have, you can think of this as being the sort of primordial place that you're going to start in as you move into this Queen of Discs energy later. There's the realization that whatever this idea is, whatever this inspiration is, it's got some sort of practical import to it. It might be a new business idea or some new revelation with some project or some creative thing that you want to get started. And in your current state, you're sort of beginning to understand that whatever this realization is, it's going to allow you to open up some new doors and maybe create some new things in the world, new projects, new opportunities. But you got to let go of something that's holding you back with this realization. And the devil's saying, don't do it, don't do it. But again, you're inspired by the Ace of Wands. You had a very clear insight that led you to this revelation. And so this I see as being you starting to sort of slowly mature into a place where you can let go of this and get past this tower moment, which maybe it's going to have to all come crumbling down before you're able to move from this princess stage into this queen stage. But this is telling me that it's looking positive that you will be able to get through this and you will be able to step away from this devil energy and get into something better. And here in our environment is the Prince of Wands. So this is a sort of more practical in the physical realm, monetary or some kind of stability in your living situation, or something that's grounded in the physical. The Prince of Wands, this is not only we're moving from princess energy into prince energy here, but we're also moving from discs into wands. Again, wands is fire, passion, energy, aggression, movement. I mean, look, he's literally riding on a chariot of fire pulled by a flaming lion. That's pretty empowering imagery. That's saying that you are here in this Princess of Disc mode, and in your environment, you have this Prince of Wands energy, this fiery force that's fueling you forward. Again, sort of, to me, coming back to this Ace of Wands, I think what's guiding you is some kind of powerful passion. And I mean, looking ahead at the top, we still have to get through here. We have the Lover's card, but we have this Lust card that is saying that the likely outcome of all of this is that this passion, this fire is going to fuel you forward. And I think that's what's going to maybe that's what ends up taking down the tower. Maybe you're stuck in your head. Maybe you have this insight, something has to change. The Knight of Swords is sort of, emphasizing that you need to get control of this and you need to take control of the clarity of thought that was presented to you and get past whatever it is that's holding you back. Get past this devil, break out of that tower, and shoot forth with that fiery Ace of Wands, Prince of Wands energy. And that's going to lead you into this lustful, not in a negative sense, but in a sort of powerful, feeling just... You have the energy of the world at your fingertips. I mean, look, she's reaching up into the heavens and pulling down the fire from heaven and channeling that to fuel her to basically become, in some sense, the lion that's pulling this chariot. You're no longer being pulled by the energy. You're almost becoming one with that passionate fire. And I think that's going to work out really well for you. It's going to take you from this Princess of Disc energy into this Queen of Disc energy, and you can be the queen of your kingdom. So you'll start in this era of sort of seeing what's going on and realizing you need to do something about it. Around you, you're being fueled by this fiery passion. And I mean, this could be another person that's coming into your life, but I feel more what's going on is you're sort of slowly starting to grow into your power. This card is showing you moving forward with that power into the world, but that then leads you to a choice. The Lover's card is the card of choice. You have to make some sort of decision, but that decision is what brings some amount of unity, You know, there's a division here between, should I go this way? Should I go that way? And maybe that's what the Tower is. Maybe you have this insight that makes you realize that you are going to have to make some sort of decision about, what do I do with this new information, this new insight? How do I move forward in my life with whatever this revelation is? But I feel like what's going to happen is, this is in the position of what you don't want. This is what you're sort of worried about, your challenge. And I think that's why you have a Tower here. You have some kind of position you're in where you realize something, you're going to have to come to terms with how you deal with this realization, and you don't like that. And that's why the devil's down here saying, don't bother, don't make the decision, don't worry about it, don't, just, it'll be fine, just shrug it off. But you can't. In reality, with the sort of energy that's happening here, it feels like you're being put in a position where you're going to have to deal with whatever has been given to you, this new insight, and take it forward. And again, I think if you actually put the time in to work through what this is and how to deal with all of this, your likely outcome here is the Lust card, which is the Strength card in the Rider-Waite deck. And it's, you're taming the beast that is inside of you. So it's like you're starting off as this princess, you're being pulled forward into the world with this new insight. At some point, you're going to have to make a choice what you do with this power and this energy and this insight. But once you make that choice, you're going to be able to channel all of that energy and tame that fiery beast that is pulling you forward, and become one with that energy, and take that Ace of Wands energy and be able to command your entire world with it. And that seems pretty awesome. I think that's a pretty good sort of outcome to this. What at first seemed like kind of a maybe difficult situation. I don't think this is going to be a bad Tower, but I mean, I think you are going to have to break through whatever's holding you back and let go of this devil that's trying to hold you down. So, all right, let's see what we do not see coming at the bottom of the deck. The Knight of Cups. So this is gaining control of your emotions. So we were, as I said here, we were looking at a spread that doesn't have any water energy. What we don't see coming is the water energy. There is maybe there's some sort of offer that's going to be brought in, some sort of emotionally resonating offer. And what you're not likely seeing here is how it is going to affect you on the emotional side of things. But I think you're going to be surprised that maybe this is part of what the choice of the lovers is. Maybe there's something, this does not have to be a romantic choice, but I think how this is affecting you, it almost to me seems like you're sort of neglecting how it's emotionally affecting you. You're very, very aware of how it's energizing and empowering you, and there's this, notion here that it's coming from some sort of insight. What you don't see coming, I think, is how this is going to bring you some amount of sort of emotional fulfillment. I think it's going to make you feel stronger and more grounded in how you are sort of emotionally navigating your life. So that's how I see this. All right, so with the time we have left, let us now look at what is happening over here with the Shadow deck. Let's pull a few cards from here. So we're going to pull 3 cards and see if it clarifies anything or brings any new insights to the table. Okay, maybe it'll tell us a little bit more about, what this Tower is, or maybe it'll tell us a little bit about how the devil plays into this, or I'm actually kind of curious what this choice is that you don't really seem to want to make. So let's see. We're just going to see what kind of comes through here. So I'm going to pull 3 cards, and then we'll see what's on the bottom of the deck. And that will conclude the reading for today. So let's see what we get. Okay, let's shuffle this a little bit more. Okay, let's do another. And then we'll pull the 3 cards. Okay, so what clarifications does Virgo need today? This was a good read so far, though. I think this feels very empowering. I like it. Getting a lot of readings lately of embrace your power, so I like that. All right. We have the Empress, nice. We have the Page of Swords, and we have the 7 of Spheres. So spheres would be discs or pentacles. So the Empress, okay, so maybe the insight is coming to terms or coming to the realization of what it is that's sort of your your goal that you're reaching towards? Where is your space of creative, fertile energy that helps you manifest new things? I mean, the Empress is usually shown as, there's usually signs of fertility. Here you see what looks like a pregnant, sort of part of what looks like a pregnant woman here, but again, it's the shadow deck, so things are very sort of surreal looking. But again, maybe this new insight is realizing what it is that you want to do with your life, what it is you want to work towards, what is your sort of, what is it you want to bring into the world? What is that brings you that comfort and peace? I think this might be what that insight was. Here we have the Page of Swords. So this would be the equivalent of the Princess cards from the Thoth deck. So this would be the Princess of Swords, which notice is right on top of the Knight of Swords, which would be the equivalent of a king in the Rider-Waite deck. So again, I think maybe this insight is coming from a new sort of clarity of thought about what it is that you want to work towards, what it is that makes you sort of feel empowered and puts you forth into the world to want to make new things. And so again, this Tower is sort of realizing that you're going to have to make some changes to embody whatever this is. But I mean, we're eventually going to get from this page to the Knight. So maybe the Knight here is not necessarily your own thoughts, but maybe it is some external force that is sort of trying to put forth in front of you the realization that the insights that you're having cannot be avoided. And maybe the Shadow deck here is telling you that this is the internal side of you that's saying, hey, you're going to have to deal with this. This is the Page. This is also could be looked at as being someone who's trying to find their own identity. I often like to think of the Page of Swords as someone who's got that angsty teenage energy, trying to figure out, who am I, what do I do, how do I be one with myself. So again, I think this is a realization of who you are and what you want to do with your time, and the Tower is coming to terms with what you need to do to make that happen. Here, we have the up top of the Queen of Swords, or excuse me, not the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Discs. We have the Seven of Spheres. So the 7 is the card that is, how should we describe the 7? So we see here there's a tree that's growing. So the 7 has to do with putting your energy and effort into something that you may not see immediate success with. And you can almost feel a sense of disappointment as it takes time to grow into what you want. So again, I said here in your present energy, you are the Princess of Discs. And on top of the Queen of Discs, where it looks like we are headed in the future, we have the Seven of Spheres, which is this idea that where you're going with all of these ideas and this energy, eventually you'll be able to look back on it and feel very good about what you've done, but it's going to take time. And again, so we've got a little bit of things that are holding us back from reaching all of this great, positive, powerful energy. Some of it is being held back by our doubts and our inability to accept change. And this is, to some sense, I think, maybe what the devil is sort of trying to tempt you with is saying, it's going to be so much work. You got this idea, you want to do something, but it's going to be so much work. Wouldn't you rather just sit inside of your tower, feeling comfortable, not changing and not doing anything about it? When in reality, the tower is going to crumble whether you like it to or not. So you're going to have to make a choice. You can stay in the tower and let it crumble around you, or you can move forward into the world with this powerful fire energy and really accept the power that is inside of you. Make a choice to do something positive with it and feel much better about what you're doing. So I think that's a much more empowering way. I mean, of course, literally. It's a much more empowering way to deal with whatever the realization is of what it is that you want to do and what you want to do with it. So what we do not see coming on the bottom of the shadow deck is the Five of Spheres. This is also another card of things you could be worried about. The Five of Spheres is some sort of financial struggle, typically a short-term one, but some kind of setback, some kind of frustration in the physical realm where you feel like you're lacking what you need or lacking in being left out in some way. And again, what you maybe don't see coming is that whatever this choice is, whatever this thing is you want to commit your time and energy to, perhaps it's going to come with it an unperceived, or not unperceived, but an unforeseen amount of struggle. Again, you're going to have to put in the time and the energy and wait to see the fruits of your labor, and that's going to probably bring with it a moment in time where you're going to feel like, did I really make the right choice? Maybe the devil was right all along. But I think if you wait, put in the time, and you trust your intuition, and you make the choice to be empowered by whatever this realization or idea is, you'll be able to find this Empress energy and this lustful power of becoming one with whatever it is that sort of propels you and energizes you. So that feels pretty good. I hope you liked this, Virgo. Again, if you see anything else that stands out to you, or if this did not resonate with you, don't try to make it fit. But I do hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this brings some happiness and joy to your life. So yeah, I'll see you next time.